Preacher Boy.
Recently, a black therapist was fired from her job for, issues she had with black men not getting the proper therapy that she feel like they need. The sister took to TikTok and went off on black men for not being emotionally vulnerable, to their women or to their spouse or whatever the case may be. And she cited that the reasons why a lot of women are leaving their marriages or breaking up with their boyfriends is because these men aren't emotional vulnerable. And she said that women would just rather be childless and marriedless and alone rather than be with these type of men anymore. Now, I agree with some of the stuff she was saying about, black men, our emotional well-being, our commitment issues and all that stuff. I agree with her, you know what I mean? However, sister, if you happen to hear this podcast, I hope you do. There's an old saying that goes, it's not what you say, but it's how you say it. And I'm sure you know that as a therapist.
Gutta and Saved, they can't stand me.
I fucking love it here. First off, y'all bitches is smart. This is the exact The comment says, I wish men would understand that emotional intelligence is so important because of how much clarity/security it would bring to your lives. Y'all think bitches just be talking in y'all ear just to be fucking talking. We don't. Y'all think bitches just want to argue with y'all because y'all refuse to expand your emotional vocabulary. We don't. It's to provide clarity for both us and y'all dusty bitches. Let me stop. This shit really truly irks me because when I say you need to expand your emotional vocabulary, it's so your life can be easier. Don't you want to be able to communicate with your bitch? I think yes, right? Long gone are the days where you can just shut down. Bitches is not tolerating that. Like, it used to be where men provided financially or with schmeat and bitches can make their own self come and we can pay for our own shit. So I'm gonna need y'all to catch up on the emotional part. If a bitch is telling you, I need you to communicate more, open your fucking mouth. But you know what I realized? And let me back up. A common misconception about me as a clinician is that 90% of my clientele have been men. Black men specifically. And what we specifically work on is expanding their emotional vocabulary because a lot of y'all motherfuckers don't even have the words to express how you're feeling. So when you expand your vocabulary and knowledge of what you are experiencing, because y'all are human beings who experience feelings and emotions and don't have to choke that shit down no more. Y'all ain't had to choke that shit down since 2016. Anyway, if y'all are not in therapy, expanding your emotional vocabulary, your life just off top is going to be more difficult. When you expand your emotional vocabulary, you expand your awareness of yourself. When you expand your emotional vocabulary, you understand how you can navigate in this bitch. This fucking weird-ass world that is so hard on y'all. Like, let's acknowledge that the world is very difficult for y'all, but y'all are not making it any easier, bruh. You're not. When bitches are telling y'all to go to therapy, it's not for us. It's for y'all sad motherfuckers. Go to therapy. Talk about that shit that's on your chest. You don't have to choke that shit down no more. Y'all are doing a disservice to yourself. And so let me sum this shit up. Y'all told bitches to elevate our standards. And at the cost of us elevating y'all standards, y'all got axed because y'all didn't elevate either. Bitches are not tolerating emotional abuse, emotional neglect. Step it up. Go talk to somebody. Go expand your emotional vocabulary so your life can be better, bitch. All right. Go in peace.
Now, sister, what you said in your video is true. And I haven't heard a man, dispute what you said. But I think a lot of the issues is with men and how they responded to your video. I believe the issue was with how it was being said. Now, I have no problem with how you said it. I know some men do, now, and to balance it all out, to be honest, fellas, like Kevin Samuels was coming at some of these women too, calling them out their name. And he was saying some, loose stuff to some of these women while trying to make his point. She only doing what Kevin Samuels said. Did. I'm just keeping it 100 to balance this all out. But sister, hear me out. What you said was on point. But how a lot of men received it was like, coming from like an angry black woman point of view. So, like typically when somebody feel like they being attacked, whether, what you saying was true or not, people gonna, kind of withdraw. Now, and that same thing, women did with Kevin Samuels. A lot of the stuff he was saying was on point, but the reason why they felt, like they wasn't going to receive it is because how he was saying it. So when black men heard you, sister, they feel like you was one of those angry black women who hasn't been healed neither. Now, again, I'm not saying that you are one of those angry black women. No, I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying that's how most men may have received it. Now, I have a question. Are you speaking from a hurt woman point of view and just had to get it out your system? Or are you speaking from a clinician point of view and trying to drop some game on men? A lot of men ain't receive it because it just didn't come off right. But I was cool with it. Like, I'm like, okay, what she's saying, is on point. But if you coming from a hurt black woman point of view, you need to seek therapy yourself. Because like the old saying goes, hurt people hurt people. Now, if you're coming from a clinician point of view who's, a therapist to black men and black people, how you said it was out of pocket and it wasn't professional. Now, sister, hear me out, please. It's coming from a pure place. If one of your male clients saw your video and, he opened up about his deepest, darkest secrets and emotions, and now he saw, what you put on social media calling, your black men dusty and all this stuff, do you think he would have had a problem with that? Let's keep it a bean. Because I know as a therapist, it is tough for a man to break the ice of opening up and expressing himself, especially to a woman, because women typically weaponize our emotions. And you know that as a woman, you are a therapist. You know that. If you was a client and you saw your therapist on social media saying things like the things you said about black women, wow, your therapist was caring for you and speaking into your life and trying to, get you to a better place. How would you feel if you ran across your therapist saying the things that you said, about black women on her social media platform? You would feel some type of way. I know you would. Let's keep it 100. Yeah, don't front. Let's keep it a bean and shame the devil. You would. Your synopsis and assessment, could be 100% accurate. It could be 100% true. However, like I just said, it's not what you said, but it's how you said it. It's how you came off. Now, I agree. A lot of us black men, we are broken. We need some therapy. But let's not weaponize black men's pain, with coming on social media and saying all this stuff that you said, because that's going to just push us further away. Like, man, I can't open up to these women. I can't go in there and tell them all this stuff because all they're going to do is weaponize it like this therapist just did. We're not going to feel comfortable opening up. And as a matter of fact, to be honest, I guarantee a lot of men not even thinking about going to get therapy now after seeing this, especially from a woman, because let's say, I'm all for therapy. I'm all for getting help. But if I go to a therapist and I see that as a woman, now I'm going to be very apprehensive, especially if it's a black woman. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be very apprehensive because now I'm like, man, how's she going to treat me? Is she going to be giving me the right information? Is she going to, take care of my emotional property well? And what's crazy? You don't see other cultures doing this. Now, I'm speaking from a humanity point of view. You don't see the Chinese men and women going back and forth. Now, they may have their issues with they, men or they women like any culture, but you don't see them going back and forth like this. The same thing with, Jews or Arabs or white women and white men. Like, yeah, all these people have issues with they men or they women, vice versa, but they not on here, going back and forth like black people is. Well, a lot of liberal white women are with they men. They talking about all the stuff that they have against their white men. But other than those white women, You don't see other cultures doing that. Like, to be honest, they focusing on their family and their family alone. They focusing on affecting the men in their family and the women in their family and keeping it 100. You can see that with the Jewish community. You can see that with the Chinese community. It's not to say that they don't have issues, because I believe we all have our issues, whether you a man or a woman, but they settle it in-house. But us in the black community, we all over TikTok. We all over YouTube. We all over Facebook. Black women is this and black men is that and that. That's what we're doing. And we're looking quite stupid in front of the world, to be honest. It's actually kind of projecting what people have always said about us, that we are just savages and animals, because look how the men is treating their women and look how the women is treating their men. Like, that's what's being projected to the world, at large, in regards to us black people. And to be honest, I'm gonna keep it 100, man. I don't even know why black women and black men is beefing. To be honest, it's almost like we're fighting for no reason. The fight was instigated by these other women, if you ask me, that have issues with their men and the patriarchy and all the stuff that they did. Now black women is taking on their arguments as if black men was part of the patriarchy, which we wasn't. And now they treating us like we daggone damned them and took away their rights and all this stuff. No, sisters. Yes, you may have had some men that you had to deal with in your past that wasn't good to you. You may have cheated on you, yada, yada, yada. The same thing with men. Men may have had women that did them dirty, yada, yada, yada. It's all the same story. But get over it. Find you somebody that's going to take care of you personally, emotionally, financially, whatever, whatever you want and you're looking for out of a spouse or in a relationship. Go get that. But don't try to hold all your men to the standards of those Pookie and those Ray Rays, because the Pookies and the Ray Rays are a very small number of black men. For the mass majority of black men that I've encountered, they are good fathers, they are married, they are hard workers, and they trying to do what's best to take care of their family. Yes, some black men are dogs, but so is some women. Yes, black men are emotionally damaged, but so are some of the women. We all have issues and need to heal together. Real rap. Now, I'm about to drop some gems on y'all real quick to show y'all how we can heal together. Like my man Prodigy say, rest in peace to my man Prodigy, by the way.
Drop a gem on him, son.
Do life with the ones you can directly affect, whether it's a man or a woman. Me, for example. I don't worry about every black woman. I don't care what you do with your life and how you do it. I really don't. I only worry about my wife, my daughters, my niece, and, those women that I can directly affect in close proximity. I don't expect no black woman who don't know me directly to allow me to speak into her life in the form of correction. Real rap. That's, to be honest, that's where we have to stop that. That's where a lot of us black folk, we have to stop that. We really do. Both men and women. We have to stop trying to speak into people's lives in the form of correction whom we don't know. Look, let the men or women in their life worry about that. You worry about the women or men in your life that you can affect directly. Unless you're a therapist like this woman. Unless you're a therapist and that's your job, leave that to the professionals and you only affect the people that you can, do life with on a daily basis. Because real rap, we are too focused on trying to change folk we don't have to do life with. And many of them, we would never even meet in our lives. Like, no, for real. We need to stop focusing on trying to, change folk we don't have to do life with. As a matter of fact, a lot of these folk that y'all trying to change on these internet streets, on TikTok and YouTube, y'all will probably never meet a day of y'all life. So we just need to chill with all women need to do this and men need to do that. Nah, just stop with all that. Focus on changing the people around you and focusing on changing yourself to better the people around you. Real rap. Because like I just said, I'm only obligated, me personally, just how I feel, to the black women and the black men in my life. And I'm only focusing on them. Now, I know y'all see my TikToks, y'all see, what I post, but I just drop gems on people.
Drop a gem on them, son.
I say what I say and I keep it moving. I'm not trying to force no man or no woman to think like me, because at the end of the day, you don't know me. And how can you try to take, correction from a man you don't know? Nah. I say stuff on social media and I just leave it there. I'm not talking to I am talking to people at large, but I drop the gem and you do what you want with. Now, fellas, this is where we chew the meat and spit out the bone with this sister. What she said is facts. It's a tough pill to swallow. It is. It's facts what she said. Now, this is where I disagree. With what the sister said, is when she was talking about how black men are alone and lonely and stuff like that. She took that from an article that was written by a white man, about white men being alone now more than ever. It wasn't about black men, sister, so we can't stop taking, we got to stop taking what they doing over there with their men and women and bringing it over here to black men and women and thinking that it's applicable, because those researches wasn't, for black people. It was for them. Now, ladies, let's keep it 100. Let's keep it a bean. Let's keep it a bean. Your biggest issues with black men is the fact that black men aren't faithful. This is what y'all say. So how can that article be applicable to black men? If they was alone, then that would mean that they ain't with these other women. Now, like I said, chew the meat, spit out the bone. If I'm dropping truth, hey, you ain't got to take it, but you can't ignore the truth when it's being presented. Ladies, please note this. I need y'all to get this. Us black men don't have a safe place to be emotionally vulnerable, like real rap. Absolutely nowhere in society us black men have a place where we can be emotionally vulnerable. On a job, we have to be hard or we would be taken advantage of. And, in business, we have to be hard or we'll be taken advantage of. In sports, we have to be hard or we'll end up getting ran over. With our women, we have to be hard because, let's keep it 100, black women has a well-known reputation for calling men the B word or the P word and all that stuff. Let's not ignore the fact that, a lot of black women have a reputation of saying that to their men. It's not that we don't want to be emotionally vulnerable for our women. It's that there is no on and off switch. And what I mean by on and off switch, y'all want us to be able to click on masculinity and be strong at one point and then turn it off and be feminine and compassionate. Now, which we should be compassionate, but I don't know about feminine, because you just don't know. You don't know how to turn on that switch and know when to turn, because we're not mind readers. So I believe that there has to be a balance of being masculine and knowing when to be, hard masculine and being masculine where you just need to calm it down. Femininity don't have to, being feminine shouldn't be nowhere in that discussion. We just should know when to be firm and when to calm it down. That's it. Now, unfortunately, the sister was fired for what she said on social media about, black men. Now, I totally disagree with her being fired. She should be allowed to have her opinion on things. But where I think she crossed the line is when she started addressing herself as a therapist to black men, then proceed to call, black men out their name like Dusty and I forgot the other words she called them, but she was calling them out their name. Now, a lot of people on TikTok is coming and saying, oh, black men ain't this, black men ain't that, black men end up getting her fired. And they blaming us black men for her getting fired. I'm like what? Like, why y'all think that black men is responsible for her getting fired? Now, she made a TikTok post about her firing. Let's check it out real quick.
Well, hello. It's your friendly neighborhood therapist who thought she could save these hoes, but got her job terminated as a result. Story time? I think yes. Shit you not, I posted a video on Monday telling men that their dusty behavior is only harming them and that they would benefit from emotional intelligence. and I shit you not, by Friday, didn't have employment. All of this started with a Psychology Today article stating that men are lonelier than ever because they have no fucking emotional skills. And I agreed and doubled down and told y'all that y'all lives would radically improve if you expanded the shit that came out your mouth. But instead of healing, y'all will do anything but that. Instead of being accountable like, hey, this bitch see me, and stirred a little bit, y'all got so hurt that you contacted massa. That's exactly what happened. So first the post goes viral on Twitter, cause y'all need fucking help. And y'all wanted to argue with bitches blue till they fucking blue in the face. Some of you hoes is not gonna be saved. And that's the conclusion that I've come to. So because this shit's gone viral, I'm thinking, okay, cool. We starting a discussion on mental health and people are, you might not like my fucking delivery, but motherfuckers is starting to talk, you know, shaking the tables. I don't give a fuck. But then it turns into this entire crusade of attacking a black woman who serves the fucking black community. There were comments like, I'm gonna find her credentials and report her because I told y'all to be better. Yeah, y'all are fucking weird. Y'all scream that y'all want to protect women, protect black women specifically, but have done nothing to protect this black woman who has been serving the communities. I have been violated in several areas, and I'm gonna outline each one. This article was written by a fucking black woman, putting my full government and my place of employment. So being doxxed by a black woman can't fake, kind of fucking hurts, and she never once reached out to me or contacted me so I could spend my side of the story. This is the article that spooked my fucking job and got me fired. Not only does she not have any regard for my safety, many other articles have been written as a result. Here are a few of them, just to name a few. Black Twitter has words for therapists scolding men to go to fucking therapy. Y'all attacked me and got mad at me because I wanted better for y'all. That's the most crab in the barrel bucket type bullshit I've ever heard in my fucking life. A plethora of black men decided to take it upon themselves to call my employment to get me fired. You succeeded, but you succeeded in not the way that you think. If it's one thing about black women is that we're incredibly resilient. This just cleared the table to give me space and opportunity to educate the masses while shaking our asses to healing because y'all got mad because I wanted you to do better. I was told they consulted with shareholders and decided to terminate my contract because I told y'all to go to therapy. That's the world we live in.
Now, sister, you have an opinion on that article about, you know, men being lonely nowadays and then getting on the internet and posting what you posted about black men. I don't think your employer had an issue with that because, you know, your opinion could have been based out of your experience, you know, with dating black men. So I don't think they had an issue with that. But I think the issue lies in the fact that you're a therapist to the same demographic of people you made your video about. Now, you got to remember, those people don't understand how black people talk when we're not at the workplace. The way you presented yourself, you know, in your video and calling black men dusty and saying and cussing and all that stuff, your employer may have seen the way you was projecting yourself and it was like, yo, this is not how, you know, our business do business. I'm just saying that just because they don't understand our culture. They don't understand the culture of black people, you know, and you wasn't professional in the video. You know you was. Let's keep it a bean and shame the devil. Your video went viral. Somehow, you know, it got into the hands of your employer and they went into conflict resolution mode. And unfortunately, they had to fire you. I'm not saying it's right, but again, use two different cultures at hand. If you're working for corporate America and they see how you presenting yourself as a black woman because they already see you as a Keisha type of black woman, they gonna be like, yo, I didn't know this sister can talk like that, act like that, and especially handle our clients that come to us for help. Listen, again, let's tell the truth and shame the devil. Now, to give the sister the benefit of the doubt, I went to her page, I went to her TikTok page, and I did some, you know, investigation. You know, She's a very intelligent sister. She's a very good critical thinker. And I believe her heart was in the right place when talking about the stuff she talked about towards black men. But while I was doing my journalistic thing and investigation thing, trying to understand, where the sister was at mentally, I came across something that shocked me. Like something that would make you go, with all the things she had to say about black men, which is cool, and that's her opinion, and she's entitled to it. But what I found out, it wasn't based upon experience. Like in her bio, she has a rainbow flag indicating she don't date men. She's gay. So if her issues with black men isn't experiential, then that would mean it will only be based off her professional, synopsis, and as a therapist and a clinician. And if that's the case, then that would mean that she broke protocol with client to therapist confidentiality, which is a fireable offense. I thank y'all for rocking out with me. I hope y'all like this episode of Gutta and Saved. I'm your boy Reese Johnson, and I catch you on the next one.
Gutta and Saved, they can't stand me.